Russia's big push to revive its domestic civil aviation around the Tu-214 passenger jet is finally picking up some serious speed, but there's a pretty massive elephant in the room. The real question everyone is whispering about is whether the factories can actually build these planes fast enough to meet the Kremlin's massive expectations. In this video, we are going to dive deep into what is actually happening on the factory floor right now. Break down the very first VIP deliveries, look at the exact tail numbers currently under construction, and uncover the massive supply chain bottlenecks that could stall the whole operation. It is a fascinating look behind the scenes of Russian aerospace, so make sure you watch all the way till the end to get the full picture. The future of this aircraft has been painted in some incredibly bright colors in recent official statements. Industry bosses have laid out a grand plan for a steady, step-by-step climb in production over the coming years, positioning the Tu-214 as the absolute backbone of Russia's transit strategy. But if you talk to the folks closely tied to the actual manufacturing program, the tone changes a bit, and they warn that jumping from hand-building a few planes to true, rapid serial production is going to mean crashing through some massive industrial roadblocks. A lot of this intense debate was triggered by some excellent investigative reporting from Business Online, which managed to get a rare status update on the exact aircraft currently sitting in the assembly bays at the Kazan Aviation Plant. Now let's look at the first major milestone under this new survival strategy, which is the official delivery of a brand new jet. This specific Tu-214, carrying the registration number RA-64536, made its very first flight back in December 25 and was quietly handed over to its customer around late April or early May. There was tons of speculation early on that the commercial carrier Red Wings would get this frame, but the latest inside info shows it actually went to a corporate giant, Sogaz, configured with a high-end, luxury VIP interior. Interestingly, it is being managed and flown by an aviation company out of St. Petersburg called Jetlet. Jetlet isn't your regular commercial airline where you buy a ticket at the gate. They operate under a general aviation certificate, managing a mix of Falcon 900LX business jets, heavy Mi-8 helicopters, and an older Tu-204. Here at Altitude Addicts, we find this mix of corporate VIP use and state-backed manufacturing fascinating because it shows how Russia is trying to find any willing customer to get these airframes into the sky. For the broader Tu-214 program, this delivery isn't just about ticking a box. It's tangible proof to the public that the production line is actually moving, even with the crushing sanctions the aerospace sector is facing. So, let's look at what else is actually sitting on the factory floor right now. This is where the math gets tricky, and the ambitious targets start bumping into the hard reality of manual labor. The next airframe in line is RA-64537, which is destined for the Russian Ministry of Emergency Situations. The good news is that the engines have arrived, and the main body has been rolled out of the heavy assembly jigs. They are supposed to move it to the flight test station sometime this summer, but several local aviation spotters think that timeline is going to slip. Meanwhile, the next two planes are even further behind in the pipeline. Frame number RA-64538 just had its main fuselage sections riveted together, which is great, but there is still an absolute mountain of wiring and plumbing work left to do. The one after that, number 64539, is barely a collection of green primer metal panels at this point. Look, building commercial airliners is a notoriously slow business, and when you are only building one or two a year, the cycle takes forever. Let's just say you can't just press a button and make a plane pop out of a machine like a plastic toy. It takes thousands of hours of manual riveting. All right, we are about 5 minutes into the video, and coming up next, we are going to look at the exact secret modernizations the Kazan plant is installing to speed up production and the massive workforce shortage that might ruin everything. So definitely don't go anywhere. The government keeps hammering home how vital the Tu-214 is because it is a proven design that doesn't rely on Western parts. But the experts quoted by local media are incredibly skeptical that the factory can scale up. The current setup can really only push out a tiny handful of jets a year, and building an entire industrial ecosystem from scratch is an entirely different beast than just assembling a kit. To understand why, you have to realize that a modern airliner is a giant puzzle of thousands of interconnected pieces. Every single microchip, every bundle of wires, hydraulic valve, and titanium fastener has to show up at the exact right square foot of the factory floor at the exact right minute. If a single factory in the Urals is late delivering one specific type of landing gear bolt, the entire multi-million-dollar assembly line grinds to a complete halt. That is why aerospace engineers always say that going from building one plane a year to building 5 is an absolute logistical nightmare. To get past that hump, you need a supply chain that works like a Swiss watch, which is hard to find right now. Now, to be completely fair, the Kazan plant isn't just sitting on its hands. They have made some real progress in fixing old bottlenecks. For instance, the critical job of mating the giant wings to the main fuselage used to take ages because they were using outdated manual alignment tools from the Soviet era. Thanks to a recent influx of government cash, they have installed new laser-guided assembly jigs that have dramatically sped up this structural integration. The factory has also broken ground on brand new buildings and machining centers to expand their physical footprint. Industry analysts agree that these upgrades are absolutely mandatory if Russia wants a self-sustaining aviation sector that can survive the decade. But even with shiny new tools, everything still hinges on the raw availability of raw materials and finished components. Inside sources keep pointing out that the warehouses are running way too lean. When you scale up production, you can't just order parts day to day. You need massive, predictable buffers of everything from complex flight computers down to basic rivets. To fix this, Russia is trying to build new regional component hubs to manufacture parts locally and bypass old supplier delays. But building a resilient supply chain isn't something you do over a weekend. It takes years of quality control testing and logistics tweaking. We are hitting the 10-minute mark now, and in just a moment, we are going to look at the massive strategic role this plane plays in Russia's long-term geopolitical goals and the final verdict on whether this project will succeed. So stay tuned. Beyond the parts, there is a massive human problem because aircraft manufacturing is incredibly labor-intensive. You need highly specialized engineers, precision machinists, and master inspectors who know these airframes inside and out. Like aerospace companies all over the globe, Russian factories are struggling hard to find and keep young talent. It takes years of hands-on mentoring from older veterans to train a proper aircraft assembler, and when you are trying to rush production numbers under intense political pressure, you can't afford a rookie mistake on the line. Despite all these glaring issues, the strategic value of the Tu-214 is undeniable for Russia's future. Unlike newer projects like the MC-21 or the Superjet 100, which are still struggling to replace their Western components in finished testing, the Tu-214 is a known quantity. It has flown for decades, the manuals are written, and the pilots know it. For the Kremlin, this plane is far more than just a metal tube to carry passengers from Moscow to Vladivostok. It is a giant flying symbol of industrial survival. The team at Altitude Addicts will be keeping a close eye on these factory tracking numbers, because the success of this program will show whether Russia can truly run a modern aerospace industry completely isolated from the West. So, what is the ultimate outlook for this ambitious aviation project? The Tu-214 program is clearly standing at a major fork in the road. The cash is flowing, the factory floor is getting modernized, and we are seeing actual planes occasionally roll out the door. But the sheer physical reality of building complex aircraft means that doubling or tripling production numbers is going to be a long, painful slog. Over the next few years, the aviation world will find out if these massive investments will actually pay off with a steady stream of new airliners. It remains one of the most critical industrial experiments to watch, and we will be right here at Altitude Addicts tracking every single delivery. We thank the people who have subscribed the channel, liked, and shared the videos. We also thank the channel members for encouraging us. Last but not least, we also thank the viewers who have hyped our videos.